Let me transition to sports because large crowds have been showing up to see Lakers rookie Bronny James play during the NBA Summer League games in both Las Vegas and San Francisco. But his performance so far is not justifying the hype. Ladies and gentlemen, he's now 0 for 15 from three-point range. He's averaging 4.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1.5 assists through 4 games. He's also missed 1 game with knee swelling. These Summer League stats are not far off from the underwhelming numbers Bronny put up in his lone season at USC. Those performances have many questioning if Bronny has a real NBA future. Finals MVP Jaylen Brown was sitting courtside of the game with girlfriend Kizray Gondrezick and her former teammate Angel Reese and seemed to be caught saying, quote, "I don't think Bronny is a pro." It's all over the social media and all that stuff. That's the only reason why I posted it. Brown did not confirm or deny saying this, but did take to X to share his thoughts on Bronny after people reacted to his perceived slight, saying this, quote, "It's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity. Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. I look forward to watching his growth," end quote. Beautiful, beautiful quote by Jaylen Brown because it says what most of us should be saying. We're rooting for Bronny James. We just haven't seen evidence yet that he'll succeed. That's basically what Jaylen Brown has said. 0 for 15 is 0 for 15. You can go through a stretch. You can go through all of those things. See, this is the reason why I've never seen Bronny James play. Of course, I will see him now. And of course, I would have gone to see him this year at USC had he stayed there. I wasn't really concerned about last year because when you survive a cardiac arrest at his young, youthful age, I was more concerned about him being healthy enough. Running up and down the court, the minute you're feeling so fatigued, you might be scared to death. And so I was worried about that. But I have been, and I don't want to use the word criticism because I'm not trying to criticize LeBron James. Look, man, he's LeBron James, one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. Top 3 easily. I think top 2. Better resume from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar than LeBron James. But nevertheless, LeBron James, I believe, is the 2nd greatest player in the history of basketball behind Michael Jordan. Having said all of that, again, not criticizing, but just pointing out, that's a real tough spot he put himself in. You don't get to dial that back. When you say, I want to play in the NBA with my son, when you say you want to be his teammate, when you indicate that you're willing to go to any team that drafts him and you'd be willing to play on the minimum salary just to be in the same uniform as your team. That's what LeBron James said in the past. Okay? Even said in the past, went so far as to say that his son was better than some NBA players now. And so you put that and heaped that level of expectation. Your heart was clearly in the right place. LeBron James should not be criticized for that. He's a dad and a wonderful dad by all accounts. It ain't for us to judge him and the love that he has for his son and how that love should be portrayed, except in certain public situations. I'm not trying to talk about a father and his son. I'm talking about an NBA player who is incredibly brilliant and savvy, making one of the greatest mistakes he could have ever made by bloviating about his son to the degree that he did in terms of wanting to play alongside him. Bronny James was an All-American averaging 14 points a game. Kendrick Perkins has been on this show on several occasions talking about you don't get to be a McDonald's All-American averaging 14 points a game. That doesn't happen. It happened for LeBron James' son, who was the 55th pick in last year's NBA draft.